Amanda, and I'm here for my quick 38-week pregnancy update. You probably saw in my last update that that was going to be my last full-blown pregnancy update, and that from 38 weeks on I was just going to do a quick run through what has been happening for the week, and I'll be trying to keep it minimally edited and all of that stuff because who knows when this baby's gonna come. And as of the last week or so, I'm getting this feeling that it might be soon. So weight gain this week, I actually was up to 36 pounds gained. And then the last couple days, I think my son had it and I had it. It was just like this really low level intestinal bug. TMI, at least things were moving in the right direction, but it's been a little unpleasant. But because of that, I have lost 3 pounds again. So that leaves me at a grand total of 33 pounds gained. So it's possible that once the bug is cleared that maybe it'll go back up again. I don't know, we'll see. But at this point, I'm just like, whatever. I'm happy with where I'm at, and whatever I end up at, and I'm happy with it. So this week, my 38-week appointment with the midwife ended up being a little more dramatic than I had anticipated. I went in and was just expecting to do the normal thing. I actually had my mom and my kids with me, and they were just out in the waiting room. So anyway, during this appointment, she did all the normal stuff, the measuring and everything, and she actually measured that I was still at 37 centimeters, but she said that that could mean it's because baby dropped. And I think that that is true. You can see in my bump shot that this week, I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell just looking in the mirror that he's riding so much lower. Even for like regular maternity pants, they're getting tighter because everything is just so out and like flat at the bottom. It's like hard to get anything to fit, right? And I can also tell because my lungs feel relieved. Like I feel like he's not so much in my ribs anymore, so breathing is feeling a little easier now. But the flip side of that is that his head is now very comfortably down on my bladder. And so I'm having to pee, you guys, like every 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. So there are a lot of signs pointing that he has likely dropped. So that means it's likely to be soon, you guys. But anyway, that wasn't the drama. The drama that happened was that she was listening with her Doppler to Bam Bam's heartbeat. And at one point she recorded it as being like 75 beats per minute for just like a moment. And I was pretty sure she was hearing my heartbeat, or that she was hearing the placenta, you know, that it was my pulse and not his. She's like, just to be safe, it was probably you, but in case that was him with a heart deceleration, we should probably go have you do a stress test. So they sent me down to labor and delivery and had me do a stress test, which I have never done in my life before. You know, they strap you up to the little fetal monitors on your belly and they just listen to baby's heartbeat basically for, you know, 20 minutes to an hour, depending on what happens with baby's heart rate. They did that, and there was one little deceleration, but it was during a contraction that I was having, so like a Braxton Hicks contraction, and that's what you expect. And the rest of it, they wanted to see, what was it? It was like 3 accelerations within 20 minutes, or I can't remember what the criteria was, but he did that, no problem. Like, he was just fine. And I had a couple more contractions, and even during those, there were no more decelerations. There was just that one little random one. So I don't know, I felt like they were being a little overly cautious. Like, I just had this feeling that he was fine. But you know, it's always better to be safe than sorry. I'm pretty sure what the midwife heard with the Doppler was just my pulse, because they were measuring my pulse around that rate as well. But then even still, even with that, because there was that one little deceleration they saw, they wanted me to go have a biophysical profile ultrasound. And I was a little skeptical. I'm like, I don't know, like, I feel like he's fine. I mean, but whatever, it's better to be safe than sorry. And so they sent me over to have just like this 5-minute ultrasound, and they checked my fluid levels and looked at his heart and made sure everything was looking fine, and everything was perfectly fine, just as I expected. And it ended up being just a little bit of drama, but he's fine. He looked beautiful in there. My fluid levels are really good. So it ended up being fine. So instead of my appointment being, you know, like a normal 20-minute appointment, it ended up being like a 2.5-hour appointment. So thankfully the kids were with my mom. They were hanging out with her. She had her iPad with her, so she was keeping them entertained. You know, it ended up being just fine. But the other thing was, I had the midwife check me to see if there was any sort of dilation happening at all, which I know is not necessarily an indicator that labor is imminent or whatever, but for me it just kind of gives me an idea of like, is this going to be a fast labor or not? Because if you start dilating ahead of time and you're a little bit ahead of the game when you actually go into labor, it's more likely to be a faster labor. I just wanted that for my own mental preparation purposes. So anyway, she checked me and I was a 1. I was like, oh good, I'm not crazy. Like, I feel like these crampy Braxton Hicks that I've been having, they've been intensifying, you guys. And it's to the point now where I can like feel the difference between just my belly contracting like a regular Braxton Hicks contraction and it actually like doing something to my cervix. Like, I've been through this before, I can feel the difference, you know? And I've been really feeling like something's been happening with my cervix. She said that it's actually kind of shaped like this, and up at the top, that's what they count. And so, but it can actually be wider at the bottom. She said I was actually a 2 to a 3 at the bottom and a 1 up top. Yeah, so things are gradually progressing. So yeah, with all of these signs and just the fact that my Braxton Hicks have been intensifying and the fact that he's dropped and the fact that I'm dilated a little bit, I've been getting this feeling. I can always be wrong, but I just have this like gut feeling that it's going to be soonish. I will be really surprised if I make it to 40 weeks. Neither of my other kids did. You never know for sure, but I'm feeling like it's at least going to be in the next week. So this might be my last update. We shall see. But like I said in my last video, I'm planning on doing a live feed once he's actually here, so you guys know. I'm probably not going to do like, you know, the labor watch or announcing that I'm going into labor. Like, I guess that's just one thing that I prefer to keep a little more private. That whole experience, I just want to experience it. I want that to be me and my husband and my birth team, my family. And I don't feel like the whole world needs to know when I'm actively in labor. And I'm happy to tell the story about it afterwards. So that's why I think I'll do the live feed once he's actually here, and I'll show you that he has arrived. And then, like I said, after that, I will likely take, you know, a few weeks to a month off of YouTube, and then I will get going again after that. Just wanted to fly through a few other symptoms I've been having. I've been getting hot flashes, which is kind of, I mean, I'm always running really warm while I'm pregnant. You know, I've said that before, that it feels like, you know, whatever temperature it is outside, I feel 10 degrees hotter than that. But I've been having like actual hot flashes where it feels like it's 30 degrees hotter than it is outside, and I'm just like sweating and I feel like I need to strip down. And interestingly enough, I've been finding that I've been getting them after I drink coffee, which has not happened at all this whole pregnancy until this last week. Soon after I drink coffee, I have these hot flashes, and so that's been a little weird. So my hip pain, just like my all over pelvis, is just aching right now. Oh, my hips hurt. I've been getting a lot of sacrum pain, where the sacroiliac joint is. That's like where your spine meets your pelvis, and that has just been aching. You know, similar to my last update, except for it's intensifying. It basically just like hurts to walk all the time now, especially if I've been sitting in one position for a little while, especially if I've been lying down. Even in my ultra comfortable sleeping arrangement, I still get up and I am hobbling. Like, I literally am like holding on to the walls and like holding on to chairs and stuff when I get up, because it hurts so much to bear weight on my hips when I first get up. It's getting more and more uncomfortable, but you know, I know it's not going to be that much longer, so I'm still, you know, trying to keep a good attitude about it. Related to that, I basically can't sit on the floor anymore, you guys. Like, I can't, once I'm down, I'm not getting back up. If I am going to be sitting on the floor, there better be somebody around me to help me get back up, or like a chair, or like something that I can use to like climb up to help myself get up, because it's ridiculous. Like, my abdominal strength is zilch right now. And I'm finding that along with that pelvic pain, if I sit on the hard floor for 5 minutes or longer, I get into horrible, excruciating hip pain. This happened the other day. I sat down, and I was even sitting like on a pillow. I was trying to help the situation, and even sitting on a pillow on the floor, sitting cross-legged, just on the hard floor. I sat for like a half an hour folding laundry, and I could barely get up. I was like, Bill, come help me. I was stuck, and then I basically lied down and I had him give me a hip massage because it was so bad. Like I couldn't even walk. It was so hard to even get into the bed because the pain in my hips was so intense. Just like this sharp, searing pain. Bill worked on it a little bit, and after he worked on it, was able to get it to a point where I could move without just like flinching. So that's been fun. Because of all those reasons, I am just trying to not do anything on the floor anymore right now. If I have to do laundry, I am trying to do it sitting on the bed or sitting on the couch. If there's, you know, if I'm playing with the kids, I'm trying to stay on the couch because, yeah, I learned my lesson. That's pretty much it in terms of my symptoms. Kids are getting really excited. Alex keeps asking, you know, like, oh, is Bam Bam gonna come today? And I tell him, well, Bam Bam gets to decide when he comes, and it's gonna be a surprise, but it'll probably be in the next week. So I've been trying to help prepare the kids and, you know, get them ready. And you can tell that Alex is just so excited. Every time we talk about it, his eyes light up. And so I'm just so thrilled that he's excited about it. And I think Sophie's excited too. Although her being the littlest one, and she's only 2.5, she has been a little more needy and clingy lately. She's also getting 4 molars at once right now, so things have been a little challenging. She's normally like the most chill, sweetest little girl, but when she is teething, oh my gosh, you guys, especially when it's molars, she's just like this different kid. She's just, you know, tantrums galore, just unhappy, in pain. I feel so bad for her, but we're all a little bit miserable when Sophie's teething. So a combination of that and her, like, I think she senses things are about to change, like she knows. And so she's just been a little more clingy. So I'm trying to, you know, give her that extra special attention right now, and with Alex as well, and remind them, like, you guys are just as important to me even after Bam Bam arrives. I love you all equally, you know, and I want them to have that feeling coming into this. Anyway, I know it's going to be a transition, especially for Sophie. That's how it was when Sophie was born. When Alex was 2, he went through a little rough month or so before he came to terms with the fact. And so I'm expecting we're probably just gonna have a little bit of a rough month, but that's just kind of the reality of it, and then she'll get over it. And now I'm reminding them, look, you two are best friends, and they really are. Like, Alex and Sophie, they love each other. And so I think that if I keep reminding them of that, they'll realize, oh, this is exciting that we get another sibling and we're all gonna be best friends, you know? So yeah, that's it for 38 weeks. And I will honestly be surprised if I end up putting a 39-week video up. You never know. You never know. I don't want to make any sort of assumptions, you know, who knows? Even though I'm having these signs that labor could be soon, you just never know. Like, you can get all those things for a week before you actually go into labor, or even 2 weeks. So, you know, I just am having the attitude that it's gonna happen when it happens. I'm scrambling to finish getting my bag packed, which I may or may not get a video of that up depending on whether I go into labor or not. I pretty much have everything laid out. I just have to put it in the suitcase now. So I'll probably film it, but as to whether it actually gets up on my channel before I go into labor, it remains to be seen. So just wanted to give you guys that heads up. I have intentions to, but it will be all dependent on whether I go into labor or not. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we may or may not see you next week. We shall see. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to let me know what's going on with you guys in your pregnancies in the comments below. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe because this baby's gonna be here soon and you definitely don't want to miss once he arrives. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye.